Night Out is the 11th episode of the 4th season of The Office. This is directed by Ken Whittingham, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. It's an okay episode, certainly with Rainn. I think it's quite a significant episode. There are some funny moments. It's not my favourite. I don't actually have that many thoughts, so this might not be a very lengthy discussion. But in general, there's nothing wrong with the episode. Starts off, Michael has gum in his hair. He was crawling under Stanley's car to look at something shiny, and he got gum stuck in his hair, which is pretty amusing in itself. And then they said to go and get peanut butter from the fridge, but not the good peanut butter. I like that they had to specify that Dwight couldn't get the good stuff, even though I'm pretty sure he did. And yeah, I can't imagine putting peanut butter all over my head. It did make me want peanut butter, though, so not a bad start. And we then have two parts of the narrative. One revolves around the fact that they're supposed to be working on Saturday to enter the phone sales into the website, which apparently they were supposed to do, but the website hadn't been working at the time. Needless to say, nobody's happy. Rainn actually visits the branch, and people have a lot to say. There are a lot of people vocalizing how unhappy they are. Michael tries to be as positive as always. But people have some really good things to say. Well, negative things, but entertaining things to say, which I quite liked. And then Michael and Dwight decide to go to New York to meet girls because Michael's not having the best time with his love life or lack thereof. And they go to this club, and Rainn is there because they find out where Rainn was going to be. And Rainn is not at all like Rainn. He is very happy, very energetic, very happy to see Michael and Dwight. And it's very clear that something's up. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but it was very apparent immediately that this is not work Rainn. This is not the Rainn we're used to. Meanwhile, Jim had this bright idea, which, to be fair, is not a bad idea, that everybody should just work late on Friday, and then they don't need to come in on Saturday, which people seem to be quite happy with. So this is what they do. Unfortunately, Jim forgot to tell security that they were working late, and they go outside and the gate is locked. So they have to try and phone security to get somebody to come and, well, open the door for them. And Stanley was not amused, and he said to Pam and Jim, because they both caused problems, Jim by not telling security, and Pam because she'd locked the door from the inside so they couldn't just go back into the main office. And Stanley said to them, if I'm not in my bath with a glass of wine in 1 hour, you're both dead. And I just love the way he said it, and he just turned and walked, and it was a brilliant moment. We then go back and forth with the club and the office, and yeah, I think the pacing there is very good. There's not a lot that I think is very interesting. A few okay moments. Michael takes a picture and sends it to everybody. Actually, that was quite amusing when all of their phones started going off at the same time, which was quite fun. And then there's a very odd moment where they're all sitting around waiting, and Toby touches Pam's knee, and then he must have realised what he did and just started saying he's decided he's going to move to Costa Rica, runs out of the building and just scales the fence. It was quite impressive, very odd and very bizarre, but definitely an entertaining, that was a cross between interesting and entertaining, a very entertaining moment. And then we have what I think makes the episode worthwhile, because up until this point, it's interesting, but not a lot is happening, really. And then we realise that Rainn is going to the bathroom a lot. He's very jittery. He's got a lot of energy. He's moving around. And he goes back to the bedroom, and Dwight and Michael are with him. And he tells them that he thinks his friend has a drug problem. And I think it's very clear that actually he's talking about himself. And here we see a crack in Ryan's facade, because up until this point, he has been, at least as far as we've been able to see, he has been focused on work. He doesn't have time for all of the games that Jim would play around the office. He is hyper-focused on getting the job done and doing the best he can to advance his career, and it seemed like nothing could tear him down. But here we have that crack in his facade. We have his weakness and this vulnerability. And I think I don't know how long it's been going on for. I'm sure we'll find this out in due course. But I think the fact that he was willing to say his friend might have a problem is a good sign. I think it shows that maybe they're about to turn a corner. What I think would be great is if perhaps this has been a problem, probably since he moved to New York, that would be my guess. And because it's been going on for a while, he's at the point where he's realised it's a problem and he's ready to get help. I won't really like it. I mean, I'll give it a chance, of course, but I don't think it would be a great decision if this goes on and on and on, and this becomes a long-term problem. Because as irritating as Rainn is as a character, very well written, but very irritating, I feel like we need to see him not having a drug problem long-term. So I'm hoping that we've been brought into the narrative at the point when he's ready to get help and turn a corner. And I hope that that's what happens going forward. I hope they don't drag it out too long or make him face too many difficulties. But we'll see. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but I'm keen to find out. I hope for the best for Rainn, as much as he is so irritating. He does bring a lot of comedy, a lot of value to the show, and I hope that things work out for him. And it was nice that he was able to speak with Dwight and Michael in a manner of speaking about this. And I mean, I think he probably did it out of panic more than trust, but we'll see. I don't know what to expect going forward. The episode was not bad. Night Out had its moments. It's not the strongest episode, but I do think that it's got a lot of value, and I'm keen to see what happens next. Not a bad episode, not a favourite, but Night Out is still pretty decent.